Hello guys, how's it going? Special during the day live stream, which is really weird. Been doing a lot of really weird live streams here lately. First of all, our first PC building live stream the other night caught me off guard because, well, camera's over here, not over here. Anyway, big deal. Second PC building live stream, super excited to have you guys here along the way. Let me try to get the chat working if I can. Let me make sure it's working so I can make sure it's on the screen. And we'll get this quick live stream one and done. Yep, there it is. Live chat. Right there on the screen. Feel free to hit me up in that live chat. Sorry I can't spell hello today. Kind of a hurry. Just so you know, kids alive, awake. I might have to take a break every so often because if she comes in here, I'm gonna have to hit the be right back screen. But super excited to have you guys here. We're building a budget AM4 build today with our Asus B550 MA Wi-Fi 2. Inside of it, we're going to be slapping in some very expensive 32 gigabytes of RAM. A not so expensive, but very powerful AMD Ryzen. Stupid light. Let me get the other camera going. Get some B-roll of this. I can get good enough shot. There we go. Money. A Ryzen 5 5500. Yeah. Let me see if I can get a good shot of it with this camera. Possibly. Oh, there we go. Money. Not a very good B shot. Oh, there it is. 5500. Anyway, one of the best AM4 processors you can get. And then storage wise, we had to, with the RAM and SSD shortage, we had to go with the whatever we could get our hands on, which is this Hexabyte Emerald 1 terabyte Energy Elite SSD, it says. We used it for the last build. I don't know exactly how good it works, but hopefully it'll hold up. That being said, let's get this build going. Let me turn the stream music down. We can have it in the background, just not that loud. Alright, opening the box, we got our Wi-Fi antennas. We got the Mac Daddy motherboard itself. And underneath all this fancy boxing, we have an SATA cable, a extra standoff, a couple extra standoffs. Camera's not pointing at me. Sorry. A couple extra standoffs. And the I/O shield. And of course the instruction. The instruction manual comes with a CD. Boy, that brings me back. Well, technically, it's a DVD, but yeah, you don't see those too much in anything anymore. So, super cool to have that. We will put the SATA cable to the side because I'm pretty sure we're not going to need that. The Wi-Fi antennas, the standoffs, maybe. Oh, we're definitely going to need the Wi-Fi antennas. The IO shield, we're definitely going to need. Those standoffs, we might not need. Because the case that we're building in is... crap. Camera about to fall off. It's right there. It is the Sama SV02. Give me 1 second, guys. My camera's trying to commit suicide. Okay. Maybe that'll help. Let's point the camera down towards the build. Alright. This is the motherboard in all of her glory. The Asus B550M-A Wi-Fi 2. I don't know why they gotta make motherboard names so long and complicated. As you can see, very nice looking board. Got your 4 RAM slots, got your slot for your graphics card. Speaking of the graphics card, that's the one thing I didn't show you guys. The graphics card for this build is, let me lay the motherboard down on the box where we will proceed to build it, is this little powerful monster. Not top of the line anymore, but it was for, well, it wasn't real top of the line for its day, but it's a 1060 GTX 1060, 6 gigabyte. It'll play most games. It's not gonna play like top of the line Indiana Jones in 4K or anything, but it'll do 1080p gaming pretty good. You guys feel free to hit me up in that live chat. It is right there on the screen. So I am keeping an eye on it. Let me make sure the stream is still in excellent condition as far as the YouTube side goes. Stream health, excellent. All right. Still looks a little quiet in here. Alrighty. Sorry guys, I had to get a couple messages out. That being said, let's go ahead and get this build going. We're gonna start off with our Ryzen 5 5500 processor. But before we do that, I got quickly. Well, actually, I'll take credit for my build. A little later. I always stick these on my actual. Oh, actually, no. I need to pull out my PC building toolbox because we need tools. Yeah. No. If you see, I've been. Hold on the wrong screen. If you see here, I like to stick my processor stickers on my box. Give myself credit for the build. Most of them don't stick around. There we go. While we're here, I'll go ahead and open up the toolbox. We'll pull out our 2 screwdriver sets, the manual one and the electric one. We'll set the toolbox off to the side just in case we need something else. We don't need the screwdrivers right this second, but I did need to pull them out. How is everybody doing tonight? Is anybody here yet? You guys feel free. The live chat is right there on the screen. So, you guys feel free to hit me up in the live chat while I'm building this build. Alrighty. Alright. As I said, we're going to be installing the Ryzen 5. Ooh, that's money right there. There's one. Beautiful B shot right there. Ryzen 5 5500. And when you're dealing with the AM4 processors, you're definitely going to want to make sure that you keep your hands away from the bottom of the processor. It has a ton of little pins, which you do not want to end up messing up. We'll lift up the little latch. This one, you'll always want to turn clockwise one way, like. Let me get you guys a better look at it. There we go. Okay. Socket. Easiest way to remember is there's a little triangle on the corner here. It will match up with a teeny tiny triangle right here in the upper right left hand corner of the board on the CPU socket. Just turn it this way and lightly just drop her into place. Sorry. You know, like to give it a little wiggle, both side to side, front to back. Sometimes I'll even lift it up just to make sure that she's nice and flush with it, which you can see for most of it. Yeah, you can see a good bit that it is nice and flush. That's when we will take this arm, snap it down into place real quick. Doesn't take a whole lot of force with the AM4. AM5, fair warning, you will feel like you're gonna break it. It's normal, so don't get too worried about the. Don't get too worried about it if you're. Hold on, guys. Having some issues with a viewer. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second, man. Okay. That should. That should help out the viewers that needed to be helped out. Um. Hopefully that gets them to the right live stream. I don't know. I don't get much. Sorry, you guys. I didn't even know the damn camera wasn't pointing at me. Okay, back to the build. Hopefully they make it. This is what we got. We got the motherboard. We got the CPU in the socket where it goes. I've took credit for the build. We're gonna pull out our CPU fan. Ah, I didn't think about it, but I usually like to move this stupid shroud around here. I don't know why, but it mounts to the CPU socket like this, which makes the AMD logo on the side instead of at the top. pull out my manual screwdriver right quick. See if I can fix it. Real quick on the fly. Sorry guys, but this part of the AMD stock AMD processor cooling fan drives me crazy. See if I can get away with it without having to actually pull the screws all the way out. That's the wrong part, I think. It's been a minute since I had to move these around. I think it's the other screws actually. There. I think it's these screws on the top actually. And of course that's the wrong bit. Sorry guys, but like this part drives me nuts. Like I could fix it later, but I am kind of in a hurry. Really? Okay, we might have to leave this alone, at least for now. I know you're probably going to say, oh, that's some OCD shit right there. It probably is. But yeah, okay, I might have to actually leave this. Like some of these screws are fucking in there. Trying to do this without like actually like breaking the damn thing. Almost turned it too far. You turn it quarter of a degree. Or, well, 90 degrees, not a quarter, but you know what I'm saying. I gotta be careful. There's thermal paste already installed, pre-installed on this, and if we can use that pre-installed thermal paste, we're going to, because not that I don't have some, I do in fact have plenty of thermal paste. I just don't feel like having to mess with it, especially when these stock AMD coolers come with it already installed. There, that pretty much takes care. Oh, why is it loose? Did it not snap all the way back on there? There we go. Yeah, there we go. There. There we go. Money. Oh, are you kidding me? I think I still ended up turning it too far. You know what? I ain't worried about it. Ain't got time. Jesus. Stuff's not supposed to be this torqued down. Just FYI. Not supposed to be so torqued down that you got pressed down so far on the thing. That being said, we're going to pull out our trusty electric screwdriver. You can hold on to these brackets if you like after you take these screws out. Most likely, as long as you're going to use any cooler that doesn't require these stock brackets, you'll be fine. As you can see, this is the thermal paste that I was trying not to mess up. I might try to quickly fix this stupid thing again. I'll get them started with this screwdriver. And I'll finish them with the electric one because, well, it's faster. Maybe not. That damn thing never wants to grip worth a damn. much like everything in PC building, you'll want to go from one corner to the next. And this may only be a little aesthetic, but you'll see what I'm saying. Now, when I put this CPU cooler on, the AMD will be at the damn top, not on the side. It's already got pre-installed thermal paste, so you just sit this bad boy right down on top of your holes, which will put it right on top of the CPU. You'll go from one corner to the next, getting it started. I need a bigger bit. This screwdriver is really pissing me off. There. And you'll just go from one corner to the next until you have it all the way tightened down like that. I usually start it off on the four corners, and I'll go ahead and tighten it down on the four corners, like so. Then I like to kind of tuck this cord, wire, whatever you want to call it. First of all, make sure you plug it in. That is not the fan header. There it is. Okay, I was about to say, where in the hell is my CPU fan header? That is a really weird spot for it. That is like right close to the RAM slot. Oh, sorry. Come on. Okay, you just slide that onto the fan header, CPU fan header. Don't put it on the system fan. Make sure it's the CPU fan header. It will most likely be up here in this upper right hand corner area. Then I like to tuck. Damn it. Okay. Really? I thought I was looking down at. Oh, hey. Look who it is. My mother decided to stop by the stream. Okay. Yeah, maybe. Not. I mean, there's never enough time. You're right about that. But yeah. Sorry. I didn't know the freaking camera wasn't looking at the board. Now you can see that the CPU is installed and the AMD's at the top of the CPU cooler, not on the stupid side where they like to put it. We have the CPU and the CPU fan installed. It's all good to go. Now we can install the very expensive RAM kit. Wasn't really expensive when I bought it. It was only like 50, 60 bucks. But with the RAM shortage, I wish this camera would like find a better spot. Anyway. And we got a G-Skill sticker. Alright. I didn't realize it came with those. I don't know what I'm going to do with those. But that. I usually take credit for all my builds by putting the CPU sticker on my toolbox. I don't really know what to do with the RAM sticker. Oh, I do not like how this stuff gets freaking. I hate that. They like have it snap down inside there. And well, I'm not a big fan of PC components snapping. Like, it's one thing if it snaps into the motherboard or whatnot, but yeah, this was only like 50 bucks. 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. It was only like 50 bucks, 60 bucks when I bought it. This same kit right now is $150. It's ridiculous. Stupid AI. We will open up slots. Oh, this. Oh, I'm really not a fan of that. We'll open up slots 2 and 4, which apparently only snap down on one side, which I do not like. That. Why'd you do that, Asus? Oh, come on, man. Asus, why'd you do that? Like, why? Oh, there we go. Alright. Can we get some good ASMR out of this RAM? Oh, not bad. A little bit too wiggly, but you know, it's okay. As long as it works. Alright, how about another? Can we get the money shot this time? Oh, no, that one wasn't so good. Wiggle test. I mean, it's okay. It's not nothing to write home about, but yeah. Let's see if I can get this thing angled a little better. Yeah, it's a little better. Alright. Like I said, wiggle test, not nothing to write home about. But now we got the CPU fan RAM installed. Let's go ahead and toss in this. It was an $80 SSD when I bought it, but with the AI sucking up all the RAM and now the SSDs, this no name brand SSD here, with its built-in really flimsy heat shield, this thing's over $100 now. All 1 terabyte SSD drives are over $100 now. All thanks to AI. Did that kit come with? Is there a standoff? Oh, there's a standoff screw. Oh, that's what these things are. Okay, they're not extra standoffs for the motherboard. These are actual SSD standoffs and screws. They were in this teeny tiny little bag. Come on, damn it. Okay. These standoffs all always have different sizes. It's crazy. Alright, let's use our handy standoff tool. It comes with my screwdriver kit. Unfortunately, you're not going to get a good shot of that with that camera. I can... There we go. That's about as good as you're going to get. The SSD will stick out to this slot right here. So we will need to screw the SSD standoff in right there. Now they provided us with an even tinier screw. So we will put back that one screw bit. We will grab this one here. It should be the right size. Yep. Okay. Now we will slide the SSD into the slot. Oh, jeez. There we go. Once you see it propped up like so, you pretty much got it in there all the way. Plus you won't see any of those little things anymore. You'll push it down. Kind of like in my SSD, installing the SSD into the PS5 video. And you'll screw it down until she's good and tight. After that, you can kind of clean up your mess a little bit by getting rid of the trash that you're no longer needing on the table. You should always save your other standoff and SSD screw. Put it in your box with your motherboard supplies, because there is another SSD slot right here, and that SSD slot will require that other screw and standoff. Unless I need it, I'm gonna put this to the side. That completes our motherboard prep. We got our CPU fan, RAM, SSD, all installed onto the motherboard. I was hoping to have this done already, but yeah, let's not waste any time. This is the power supply. A little overkill for this build, but it'll be alright. We got our bag of wires, our bag of screws. Yeah, bag of wires, bag of screws. We won't need all these wires because this monster of a power supply, which is overkill for the current build, but if they decide to upgrade later on down the road, they can do so without having to upgrade this power supply, because this is a Raid Max. Raid Max Cobra Power 850 watt power supply. PCIe 5.1 and 3.1 ATX. Yeah. You do not need 850 watts for this build, but if they decide to upgrade to a 50 series GPU from NVIDIA, they're going to need that wiggle room for upgrades. It won't handle a 5090 or anything, but it's a tier C power supply. So honestly, if you're moving up to a 5090, you wouldn't want to use this power supply. For if you're using a $2,000 5090, you better get you a $200 power supply like mine over here. That being said, let's go ahead and open up our bag of wires that we're going to Not gonna need all of. This graphics card, I think, has the same 6-pin as the other one. Yeah, it's got the same 6-pin connector as the other graphics card that I put in the other PC the other night. So, after building in this case the other night, I am well aware that, as with every computer, you're always going to need your 24-pin. Maybe we'll go ahead and untwist tie this thing. Builder's note: if you find any twist ties inside your build, inside the case, do make sure you get rid of it. Those things are made with wire inside. If that wire touches any part of your motherboard, you will short it out and you will not have a good time. This is a 12-volt high power for most modern NVIDIA cards. We do not need that. Here is a SATA power cord. This case has an RGB fan hub. That fan hub is controlled through SATA power, which is these little connectors. Yeah, we will need this. I wish they made just a small wire that just had SATA on it, but pretty sure I looked the last time and there was not one. Here's the CPU power 4+4. This motherboard has a 8-pin, so we will need only one of these. Some motherboards, like the one the other night, only has a 4-pin power connector on the motherboard, so we only used half of this. Today, we're going to use the whole shebang. Do like the fact that this power supply comes with these nice flat cables. Got power. We need PCIe. There was one PCIe cable I found the other night that was just a single 8-pin. No, it wasn't that one. Here it is. 6+2 PCIe cable. This one only. You'll find some cables like this other one here that has dual 6+2s on there, which works for those graphics cards that are really power hungry, like mine. Mine has 3 6-pins on it. But it's a 9070 XT. It takes 500-600 watts, I think. I think it's 500 watts. Anyway, today's power supply only uses the 6-pin, which is why they make the 6+2. A lot of newer cards have the 8 pins, where you gotta use the whole 6+2. Today we're just gonna use the one, but this cable only has one connector on it, which is fantastic. The rest of these cables we are not gonna need for this build. I will give them to the PC owner. That way they have the extra cables in case they upgrade. I have no need for them, because one thing you don't want to do ever in PC building. What do I do with the box? Am I losing my mind? No, there it is, right in front of my face. I knew it was right in front of my face. Anyway, sorry, Mom, I been even looking at the chat. Okay, I have no words but wow. I have no words but wow for what? I can highlight your chat, by the way. See? Have you built any that you have sold? Unfortunately, not yet. This one right here was one of my first pre-builds. Well, wasn't one of my first. It was my first pre-build, and I was trying to sell it, but then I really needed a dedicated streaming PC, and well, I kidnapped it for myself so I could have a PC dedicated to run these live streams. That way I wasn't putting all the strain on my personal PC back here in the back. It's that colorful one over there in the corner. What was it that you had no words for? All right, let's get this power supply ready to go. Here you will see, I'm going to keep better look at the chat, so feel free to let me know what you had no words for. You will see the connectors here for all the cords. We will go ahead and install these before we install it into the case. CPU. The cables will be labeled for what they're for. You'll just find the corresponding spot on the power supply. Make sure you push it all the way in there till you hear the snap. This one says PCIe. Now on this power supply, all your 8 pins will say CPU or PCIe. It does not matter. It does not matter which one you plug it into. Me, I'm just going to plug them all right next to each other. Feel free to give it a little tug. Make sure it's securely fastened in there. Your motherboard's 24 pin. The motherboard side will actually be labeled motherboard. Your power supply side will be labeled PSU. Of course, you can't hook all these into the motherboard anyway, so. But there are specific spots on the power supply for these two, which are labeled MB. You just do the same thing. Yeah, that one didn't make a fantastic clicking sound, but it's there. Where's the other end? Oh, there it is. And you'll take the other one, do the same thing with. You can give them all a little tug if you'd like, just to make sure they're all the way in there. And all we got left is the SATA power, which you'll plug in the 6-pin SATA cord into these 6-pin SATA places on the power supply. Doesn't matter which one, just find one, snap it into place, and the power supply is therefore prepped. And now, for the star of the show. Well, I don't know if you can call it a star or not, but it's definitely holds a specific spot in this here live stream. And that's this big, beautiful case. Comes pre-installed with 3 infinity fans. Now, one thing I'm not particularly fond of, I'm learning all the money and technology, but I'm learning, and that's always good. Oh yeah, don't let it slip you by. All right, one thing I'm not a big fan of is you got to pull on this glass quite a bit to get it to pop loose. I'm not a big fan of pulling on this glass so hard because, well, I don't feel like cutting myself, nor do I feel like breaking glass. And these cases just seem to like to make me pull on it more than I care to. That being said, all two panels of glass do pop off, which opens it up quite nicely. There's one more panel we need to take off, and that's this backside panel where all the wires are going to be hidden at. Well, most of them are going to be hidden at. The one thing that I'm really not a fan of on this case, I'm going to show you. I didn't notice it until after I built in it the first time. I did get these cases on sale for like $60. So for $60, these are phenomenal cases, especially for the price, and you will see exactly what else I'm talking about. Look at that. I can stick my hand back here. Look at all this room for cable management. I can stick my whole hand back here. I got big thumbs. I can stick my whole thumb back here. Yeah. That's a massive plus for this case. Now, here's somewhere where you can mount hard drives to. I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm not a big fan of it being screwed into the back right here behind where the motherboard goes. If it poses any issues, you see here, zip tie. Zip tie good. Twist tie, bad. Get this sumbitch out my build. Trying to pry my computer and shit. They put it in here to hold the bag of screws and zip ties, so it has a purpose. Not like you'd leave it in there anyway. I mean, you have to have these screws. And the zip ties do really come in handy when dealing with cable management, which is not my strong suit. Are you effing kidding me? Oh, come on, Sama. You guys see this? They provided twist ties. No. No, you would throw this away. I didn't notice that the first time I built in this case the other night. Was that out? It don't matter. I don't remember seeing those in the bag of goodies the other night. If I had, I would have had a fit about that last night or the other night. There is another twist tie hiding behind all these wires right here. We will hurry up and get this twist tie out. It does actually hold a purpose. The twist tie did in holding these wires together. I think I'm just gonna let like 2 of these. I'm gonna let about this much of that wire loose. Then I'm gonna take a. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna take zip tie and actually. Whoa. Hold on, dude. All right, guys. Like I warned you at the beginning of this live stream, I'm here with my son by myself. He is in need of something. So give me one quick second, you guys. Stay right there, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, we are back. Like I was saying, these wires here come from the go from the motherboard to this fan hub, RGB hub here. These need to be plugged into the motherboard, so we will route those through this hole, but the rest of the bundle of wires I went ahead and zip tied because we need to cable manage as much as we can. This is the problem I ran into the other night, where they wrapped these wires around these wires for some odd reason. And I had to do this the other night when I built in this case the first time. We're going to need to disconnect these from the fan hub, get them out from being all twisted around all these other wires, because God only knows why Sama did that. I don't work for Sama, so I don't know, but I also don't know why they put twist ties in the bag of goodies like it's something that you're supposed to build a PC with. I happen to know a very famous PC builder of mine, Zach from ZTT. He's had PCs completely fry because of twist ties. So that is why I tell you guys not to leave twist ties in your build. I've never had it happen to me personally, but I'm not looking to have it happen to me personally either. So, yeah, just that public service announcement that I put with all my builds that I do live in anyway. So I do not want you guys to fry your PCs. Okay, now that we got wires sort of taken care of, let's go ahead and do the first round of cable managing. Let's grab these wires. There's a bunch of zip tie tied downs here, and in a lot of places in this case. It's another thing I really liked about this case. Even though it's a really budget case, it's got some non-really budget features, like this much cable management room, and I will show you the other features here in just a bit when I get to them. Gather up as many wires as you can whenever you're cable managing. Try to keep them along a pathway. And then zip tie them down. Try to keep them out of the way. These wires, I probably should have twist tied with the others, but that's okay. I'll zip tie. I'll zip tie them with these instead. These I'm just gonna zip tie right here, I think. How's chat doing? You cut off the ends, right? Yes, I will be cutting the ends off of these zip ties here. Actually, let me go ahead and do that now, because normally I'd do it with my wire cutters. I don't know what I did with the wire cutters. This is not the way I would tell you guys to cut these zip ties. Just make sure you're cutting away from the build and away from your hands, and you should be fine if you do it this way. It's not the recommended way, but you know, as long as you're smart about it and you're not cutting towards the wires or your build or your hands. Hands are very important. Don't cut towards them. You should be fine. That being said, we're gonna get to the next part of this build, which is in fact the case wires. I'm gonna pull them out from behind all these fan wires. Well, actually one of them is a kind of a fan wire. The front panel switch connector. This is another fantastic feature to this case that not a whole lot of cases have. Not even my first pre-built case here, the I don't even remember what the hell it's called. It's the pop air. Fractal, that's it. Fractal Pop Air 2. That thing came with them all in like little. A lot of times they're just like this. There's just little connectors like this. Sama put them all in one block. Thank you so much, Sama, for that massive upgrade. Then we have our other case connectors, which will all go into the motherboard except for this one. This one's a Type C connector. These are all cords. Here's your HD audio and stuff. We will get to that here in just a second, because we are about to put the motherboard inside the case. All those wires, though, come down from this I/O right here. Your power switch, your LED, your two USBs. There's your Type C port. Unfortunately, this motherboard does not have a Type C. It does not have a Type C connector on it, so we will not be able to take advantage of the Type C port on this case, unfortunately. It is the one bell and whistle that this motherboard doesn't have. Now we'll take said motherboard and we'll let's shove these wires back through this hole for now. That goes to the fan hub. Let's get that wire out of the way, because oh wait a minute, we almost forgot. Do not forget to put your I/O shield on. Sometimes the motherboards will have the I/O shield actually built into the panel on the motherboard. Others will have them like this one. This one has the same crap as the other one. This one actually looks like they're supposed to stay there, though. Okay, we're just going to leave them alone. We're going to install the I/O into this little rectangle area on the back of the case. I'll try to get you guys a look at it while I'm doing it. This right here, you just take your rear I/O and you push it into place until it makes a not so nice snapping sound. This part you'll want to be specifically careful with, because these I/O shields can tend to be sharp, and yeah, don't cut yourself installing the I/O shield. There. Oh, wait a minute, that one corner's not in. I said, don't look like it is. Yeah, no, it's not. There we go. Once you have it snapped into place, then we can come back here. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to move one of those standoffs, because I did the other night. We will see. Yeah. Hold on. We might actually have to install new ones, not move the old ones like we did the other night, because yeah, the motherboard's going to need all three of those up top. And all three in the middle. It needs... I don't know if you guys can... how good you guys can see that. There's 3 standoffs right here and 3 standoffs right here. That board needs those. There's 3 more down here, which would go for standard ATX motherboards. Those we don't need. Well, not right. Not where they're at anyway. They need to be moved. So I will take my little standoff tool. We only need 2 of these in a different spot. So we're going to take this one and put it right here. Or no, it needs to be right. Yeah, it needs to be right here. Then this other one we need to take out. And put it right. Come on, damn it. Right here. There. Now I've got the standoffs where they need to be. We can place the motherboard in here on the standoffs where they go. Like so. And voila. We're sitting on money right now. There. Now, where'd that bag of screws go? Okay, screws. Where? Oh, ow. Where is my case screws? Oh, here's the bag of screws and stuff. The twist ties did come with the build. The bag of build stuff the other day. My God. How did I miss that? Anyway, yeah. Do not put twist ties in your build, please. For love of God. Oh, our bag of screws still in our bag of stuff with the zip ties. And there's also a LED BIOS speaker kind of thing in here. You don't really need to worry about that thing. I've never installed that damn thing. Granted, it does sometimes on really budget builds help you because it will beep a code at you. We're not going to worry too much about that. So I'm pretty sure this one's got the LED lights, which are a much better way of diagnosing your PC issues. We need 6 motherboard screws. Oh, actually 8 motherboard screws. These are the screws in which we need. They look like a... Get a focus. They look like a screw with a washer built in. Don't get them confused with the ones that just look like a regular screw. Unlike the other night, I'm not going to go dropping all these screws around. Hopefully I can drop enough of the screws that we need. That's not one of them. So, crap. Okay. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 5. 6. 7. And 8. Okay. Now we got all the motherboard screws that we need. Where's my electric screwdriver? So we need to get this on the ball of got fatherly duties to attend to. Okay, that camera's gotta move a little bit. Sorry, guys. Usually, I'll start in the corners. Oh, crap. Ain't nothing I can do about it right this second. The other night when I built into this case, the CPU power cable was particularly oh crap. Come on. Seriously. Any other time, this thing would not be doing this. Are you... Where'd it go? There it is. Whatever you do, don't lose screws in your build. That's just as bad as leaving a twist tie in there. Because if it's just bouncing around in there, let me use my other screwdriver for this. If you've got a screw just bouncing around inside your build, it could do the same thing as a twist tie. Come into touch with a part of the motherboard that it should not, and the end result is you still end up with a fried motherboard. Do not Kentucky fry your motherboard. Alright, I got that screw by hand because it's particularly a pain in the butt. I'm not looking forward to that CPU power connector. That damn thing is another issue all on its own. It's the one downfall that I found to this case. Okay, I think we're going to have to go back to the other screw head. That one just don't fit right. That one really don't fit right. Oh boy. It's gotta be this one. Just so you know, if ands or buts about it. Alright, let's. Okay. Like I said, I always start off in the corners. Then you can get the ones in the middle. I usually like to at least get the one that's somewhat dead center in the middle. Then you can pretty much go in whatever order you want after that. As long as you make sure you get them all in there. In some cases, I've left motherboards without technically all the screws, but I would not recommend that, especially not if you're building a brand new build. That's not a motherboard screw. Oh, okay, there's only one left. Whew. I was about to say, what am I short a screw? But yeah, if you're building a brand new build, make sure you put all the screws in the motherboard. I mean, I promise you, the case. Well, actually, I probably shouldn't say that, but 99% of the cases will provide you with adequate enough screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws. Most all case manufacturers will provide you with plenty enough screws for your build. So why would you want to leave any out? Now that we got the motherboard in there, all these freaking case connectors, which have been nicely getting on my nerves ever since opening the case, because they do not like to stay put. This is the one thing I really ain't a fan of as far as this case goes, is the placement of the AIO and these wires. Like, they come right up behind these fans. And well, when it's on, you can see these wires through the back of the case. I mean, it's not like everybody's showing off the back of their case, but it's just something I'm not a big fan of. Well, we'll put our HD audio there. This Type-C cord we will just place in the hard drive cage down here, because we're not going to be putting hard drives in here. Not regular 3.5 ones anyway. It's got the SSD. We're good with that. The USB usually goes in that hole. And then our front panel connector, our oh so lovely front panel connector, which is all in one block. Thank you, Sama, for that. We will put through that hole there, and that will take care of the most of the case wires. We will place these wires, the PWM and the RGB for the fan controller, back through this hole, so we can hook all those up before we install the power supply. Because when you get the power supply in here, you want to just be able to focus on that. This USB 3.0, it will go right here into this. Is the camera showing? No, it's not. Okay. Sorry, I will eventually get a better camera that will actually zoom. The USB 3.0 header is right here. We will put the connector right in there where it goes, possibly, if I can get it to go where it goes. Come on. There we go. You heard it snap in there. That means it's firmly in its place where it's supposed to be. Your front panel header will normally be here in this bottom left hand corner. It is not in the bottom left hand corner of this board. Instead, it is right here in the middle. So we will just hook that in to its header. Then the HD audio will almost always be in this bottom left hand corner. It is actually off to the right a little bit of its normal location on this motherboard. Just line the pins up with the on the connector with the header and slide it on there like so. And then you will see these white ARGB fan headers. Your 3-pin ARGB will go onto those headers. So that's where we will put the 3-pin ARGB header. That didn't not go on like it was supposed to. Come on. There we go. Okay, ARGB's hooked up to the fan controller. Now there should be a fan header right here. I'll just slide the fan system fan, the case fans on this fan header right here. There. And all your case connectors are now officially put where they need to go. How's the chat looking? Maybe you could get a small tray for that stuff. I actually do have this nifty little box of screws and cable combs and other miscellaneous things. I need to actually get another one of those. Thank goodness they're really cheap from Dollar Tree. So, okay, that is all of the case fans, or all of the case wires, not fans. Well, it is fans too. But anyway, we will put that USB-C cord in that damn cage again. Hold on a second. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry, guys. I could have swore I had that music on loop. Yeah. Sorry. I had to take an emergency break. There was water on my floor somehow. It was by the washing machine, but there was no trail coming from the washing machine to said puddle. So, not exactly sure what happened. That being said, it's time to install the power supply. Get this shindig done. We will slide the power supply into its basement. Try not to get the cords all tangled up. We will leave it sitting there while I hunt down what I did with the power supply screws. Your power supply will normally always come with its 4 screws needed to hold it into the case. Whatever you guys do, please do not just let your power supply dangle around in your case. I've seen way too many instances where people just lay their power supply down here in this basement and plug everything in and just leave it there, not screwed into the case or anything. And yeah, that's a recipe for disaster there, my friends. Do not, please, do not leave your power supply on mounted. Oh, come on. This screwdriver, I'm almost regretting. I'm almost regretting buying this screwdriver. Like, it's just not working the way. Well, I mean, it's working. It's just maybe I need the bigger bits for the. Now what? Maybe I need the bigger bit for the power supply screws. It is a nice screwdriver though. Like, it comes with a ton of bits for whatever your whatever you may need a screwed in. Oh yeah, that's probably what my problem was. Yeah, there we go. Much like what the son of a. Do I got this thing in backwards? I think I do. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, this thing's in backwards, I think. Maybe I just had to. Yeah, no, it's not in backwards. It's just, it was just in the wrong spot. You will know if your power supply is in the wrong spot if it don't match up one of these holes on the. This camera's not even looking. One of these holes it will fit into. This one's not actually a hole; it's just a crevice, but that's where it goes. It's the only way for this power supply to mount into this case, so yeah, that's the way it goes. If for some reason none of your screws are matching up with those holes, then you probably have it in there in the wrong orientation. Most of the time, like this one, it's got the fan to the power supply pointing up, so it's sucking hot air out of the case and blowing it outside the back here. Or it might, no, it should be doing it that way. It's the way it normally does. That being said, let's get to hooking up the power supply. Here's the graphics card. We will be shoving that wire all the way underneath everything. There's a hole right at the front of the case. Hey, that fit right in there just fine. Look at that. It didn't even work that good the other night. Okay, let's go ahead and tackle this CPU cable, because it was quite a pain in the ass the other night. It goes up here in this upper left-hand corner, which the other night I could not get. I had a hell of a time getting these connectors past the gap in between the case and the motherboard. And once again, I'm having similar issues with this one. Not as bad, but very similar. We got it through there. The other motherboard the other night actually stuck up a lot more. It created quite an issue. This 24 pin will hook up right there, so we will slide that through there. And the SATA cord, well, most of it's gonna stay hidden back here, because it doesn't need to go up front at all. It just needs to hang out back here and plug into this fan hub. That's why I said earlier I wish they had one that was just one SATA cable or two and not a bunch of other stuff. So this one's got like 3 SATA ports and a Molex. Hard to believe that cables, power supplies even come with Molex cables anymore. That's old school stuff right there. That being said, we will hide the Molex and connect the SATA into the controller like so. And the rest of it, we're just going to shove off into this PSU basement. Alright, now we will twirl this around. Thank goodness none of the wires fell out, especially the CPU power. Oh, it was close though. Alright. We will do that one first, because the CPU power is always sort of pain in the butt of the bunch. Sorry guys, I don't mean to keep hitting that dang camera. I'm sure it's throwing it out of focus. Your CPU power will always be right here in this upper right hand corner or upper left hand corner. I don't know how good you guys can see it. Probably not very well. Maybe I can show it to you on this camera a little better. Right there. You will see a little 8-pin connector. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. we will take our 4+4 and connect them come on. Come on, get in. All right. Once you are pretty sure you got it in there, never hurts to give it a little tug, but I'm pretty certain it's in there. We'll shove the excess cord to the back. Then we will grab this 24 pin and plug it into this giant 24 pin here. That one's hard to miss. It's this giant connector here. That's the one thing that's never changed in between old school PCs and these new ones, is this 24 pin motherboard connector. It is exactly what you need when it comes to powering the motherboard. I don't know if you guys heard that. I heard it, but it was kind of on the silent side. It did snap into place, or click into place, whatever you want to call it. And then, yeah, that's all the power supply connections except for this PCIe connector, which will go straight into the graphics card, which is our next and last step. Well, pretty much last step. We will unscrew this little door here. I'll lift up the PC, show you guys. This little door here was held together with its own little hand screw. You should unscrew it. It will grant you access to these PCIe lane covers. This is where you'll want to take your graphics card and not put it into place, but kind of put it where it's going. This is a 2-slot card, so we'll have to take out slots 2 and 3. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up in that live chat while I'm building. I know I'm saying that kind of late here in the PC build because we are getting on the final stretches of this build, but I'm super up for answering whatever questions any of you guys may have. YouTube, you guys let me know. The live chat is on the screen, bottom left hand corner of your screen. Normally I'd point at it, but I'm not on the right scene right this second. Oh, actually I could point at it. It's right there. Alright, make sure you got your graphics card lined up with the slot. Press it down till you hear that nice click. Whoa, what the? That was not supposed to come off. Okay, sorry. The cover to the PCIe lane thing. That thing I just showed you guys, the little door. It kind of popped off. once you have the graphics card installed, you'll want to put the PCIe lane cover screws back in there, going through the slots of the graphics card. You want to make sure it's completely secured down in there straight before you tighten up the screws all the way. There. Now your graphics card will not go anywhere. And if it was a bigger graphics card, I'd say that we would need a GPU sag bracket. This one's not big enough for it. My case, however, my GPU in that PC back there. Can you guys see it? No, I need to sit down. My GPU in my personal PC back there does need a GPU bracket. I will be installing this GPU brace here soon on my personal build. If that's something that you guys would like me to do live or make a video out of, feel free to let me know in that live chat, or if you're watching this afterwards, hit me up in the comments section. Let me know if that's something you guys would want to see me install. And you take your 6-pin connector and you connect it to the graphics card. Like so. Once you hear it click, it's in place. And after that, it's time for the last round of cable managing, which, if you guys see, is the less fun part of PC building. There. Yes, there's a conjunction of wires here in the middle, which is why they leave that ginormous area. Since I know that you guys can see these wires from behind the fan inside the case, I'm gonna try to actually, against my better judgment, I'm gonna snip the zip tie that they put in place on this build, and I'm gonna replace it with these very handy and helpful cable ties. They're Velcro and they are awesome. I can take these cables, kind of mount them together like they were, but in a better organized fashion, I guess you could say. If I can get them to work with me here. There we go. Get those over here. Try to keep them out of the way of that fan area. That way you don't see them after it's all said and done. Because that's one thing that drove me nuts with that build the other night, was, which I'm still not done with that one. For some reason, it did not want to post after it was done. It did power on, and surprisingly with RGB, even though the board that I had was so budget that it did not have an RGB header. Crap. Now these things done got out of whack. There we go. About as good as they're going to get. I'm going to try to keep them out of the way of the fan area. I mean, either way, you're still going to see them because the fans are going to light up, and unfortunately, it allows you to see way too much of the wires in the back, but that's the one other downfall to this case. Usually I'd try to wrap that around. I've actually got this in such a tight area that it won't wrap around, so I'm just gonna jam it back in between these wires here, like so. That way it's out of the way of the back of the side of the fan, and yeah, it should help a little bit. I'm actually finding this really interesting and wouldn't mind watching it live or filmed. One other thing, the brace looks kind of large. That brace is actually pretty large, but so is the graphics card that it's trying to hold up. My graphics card is a 9070 XT, and that thing is like yay long and like that thick. That brace actually needs to be that size. It's not just meant for mine. Like it's designed to be able to hold a 5090, which 5090s are about that long and that thick. They're like a giant Bible size. So this conjunction of wires here, I'm just gonna do my best to put together like so. There's a tie down right back here. I know this isn't particularly interesting. Believe me, cable management is not my favorite part of the build either. As a matter of fact, my least favorite part of the build. But when it's all said and done, we will reap the benefits of the build here very shortly. So I will not be able to hook it up to a monitor to see if it posts live, but just like the other build last night, we will indeed get to see this one power up at least. That takes care of that whole bundle of wires, which it doesn't look all that great on stream, but I've done worse. You guys would probably be horrified if you actually seen the cable management I did in my own personal PC build. It's not very pretty. But I was able to close the case, so I should at least get points for being able to close the case. These I'm just going to put a cable tie around just to make them look a little neater. It's not necessary. I just would prefer it to be a little bit neater back here. Now all we got to do is worry about these cables on the right side of the build. Then we should be about ready to show it off. There's not a cable tie. Well, there's a cable tie area up here in this right hand corner. I'm not going to worry about that so much as I am just going to put these wires together like so. twist that around that so it don't stick out like a sore thumb. Then we should be able to do one last cable tie here where the rest of them are zip tied to. And that should be about it. Get this cable tie around the power supply and all the other wires in this area. And I do not like that cable tie going through that hole. Okay, that's better. We will hide that behind the wires. And yeah, we'll hide this SATA down here where it belongs in the PSU basement. Kind of like so. Should have hit it behind the... Actually, let's disconnect the SATA right quick. Let's route that under the rest of these wires. Ugh, I do not like that curve. Anyway, there we go. There. This USB-C cable can just hide out down here as well. And that's the cable management, guys. Might not be super fancy, but it works. What do you guys think about that cable management? Don't look too bad, does it? For my cable management, I think it looks pretty good. I'll let the other camera look at it right quick, so maybe you guys can get a better look at it. Yeah, that shows it off a good little bit better. Let me get that other camera out of the way. There we go. What do you guys think? Let's take a little chit chat break. I'm gonna have to get off here pretty soon. But yeah. We're not gonna get off here before we get the chance to look at this thing in its all of its glory, that's for sure. I gotta say, I like that view. You see all the good cable management in all its glory, and you get to see my Michael Myers mask in all its glory. And I'm still back here. Alright. That's enough fancying over the cable management. Before I show off the actual inside of the build, let's put the back on the case, shall we? There we go. Snaps right on there. No problem. And Here we go, guys. Hold on. I forgot to screw the PCIe cover door back on. And I forgot to kind of shove these cables in the back. There. Okay. Now. There you are, guys. The build is complete. What do you guys think? I think it looks pretty damn good. I like it. It looks good. Nice job. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, it's time to see it in its glory. We get to power this some bitch on. But before we do, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's stickers here on the fans. I had a hell of a time taking that damn sticker crap off of the last build because for some reason they decided to put it on every side of the Infinity fan, and well, had to be a pain in the butt with it. Especially the backside over here. The backside of this exhaust fan. I probably should have thought about this when I was building it and took it off beforehand. I gotta reach in between that and the motherboard to get that off. And hopefully this one posts and don't give me any issues like the other one was. I'm not going to be able to hook it up to a monitor, much like I wasn't able to hook the other one up to a monitor. Like, I'll turn it on so you guys can see just how good it looks. Unfortunately, I won't be able to hook it up to a monitor until the live stream's over and I can hook it up to the live stream monitor and see if it actually posts. Unfortunately, the first one didn't post like it was supposed to. I'm not exactly sure what its deal is. Hopefully I can hurry up and figure it out though, because I'm running out of time. There's a reason why I did these builds so close together, and yeah, they're to go bye-bye here soon, real soon, like a couple days soon. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the glass back on it. And there you are. That is what she looks like, all said and done, complete with glass. All the stickers are gone from it. Now, we will plug this thing in, and you guys will get to see what she looks like. One thing after you get done doing your PC build that you're going to remember, I will show to you here in just a second. It's what I literally just did to the PC, that flipping of the switch. I can't tell you how many PCs I've seen people build, and that is one of the top things that they always forget. I've done it myself a couple times, so I'm not immune to making that mistake myself. And that mistake is, let me pick the PC up so you guys can see it. There's a little power switch right here. It has to be on the eye, not the circle. That's the power switch for the power supply. If you do not flip it to the eye, then the power supply will not get power. It will not give power. And yeah, it will not power on at all. All right. Let's turn this light down a little bit, because where'd it go? There it is. There. That way it's not shining so bright onto the build. Ready? Really nice job. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bam. It's kind of hard for you guys to see the colors, although it's kind of changing in between several different colors. Let me turn the one light off. Ah. Okay. We can cycle through the colors a little bit. That actually shows up orange on the camera for some reason, but it's actually red. A really beautiful red, actually. And I moved those wires just enough in the back to where you can't see them. I like this. Like, if it wasn't plugged in, I'd turn around and show you guys the backside that I'm talking about. Actually, I can show you the backside. Oh, it actually shows you the actual red on this camera better than it does the other camera. What the hell? Oh yeah, I forgot. I like, actually, there we go. There's the wires from the rear, from the I/O. You can almost not see them at all through the build. Eh. Like, that's the look of the back of the case through that grill. I was able to get those wires pretty much out of the way. I mean, you can still see them, which I knew you were going to be able to still see them, but pretty good if I do say so myself. But yeah, that's the actual red that it's showing off. I know it looks orange on this camera, but yeah. I'll go ahead and get that camera out of the way. I just wanted to show you guys what that backside looked like without having to turn it around. Really nice job. It still looks good. Yeah. We ain't even went through all the colors. Look at that. Look at that green. Now there's one setting on this that actually shows the Nickelback Gaming colors. And I didn't even have to set it up like that. There's the blue. I know it looks like a sky blue. For the color demonstration, I'm actually going to leave this camera on. That is a light blue. That's purple. Then we got actual orange. A white, which doesn't look too bad at all. And you got this one. It has a lot of color cycles. Rainbow Puke. I'm not a big fan of that one. It goes through all those colors where it comes on and goes off, which is cool. Really cool. But then here, after it goes through all these colors, it does like a quick swirl. Then it starts going through multiple colors, which I'm not a real big fan of the whole Rainbow Puke selection of colors. But there you go, Christmas colors, red and green. And then we got Nickelback Gaming colors, blue and green. It don't look orange on your end? Okay, well that's good. That's by far my favorite setup as far as the lights go, but that's the way I got my PC set up over here, is the strobia blue and green. That one has it right out of the box like that. Like, I thought it was cool because I had to actually use RGB software to get mine to do that. So it's the one part of these new builds that has me a little jelly, because for one, they've got my infinity fans, which are the fans I want to put in my case, and then they right out of the box do the colors I like. Really nice job. Still looks good. Thank goodness it didn't look orange on your all's end. I'm now going to get rid of that camera. And yeah, that's pretty much PC build. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up in that live chat. It's right there on the bottom left hand corner of your screen. We're about to call it a day. Took me maybe a little over 2 hours to build this PC live. I don't think that's too bad. I probably could have done it a little bit faster if I wasn't dealing with cameras and household disasters like the water puddle and shit. But shit happens. I do very much appreciate everybody that tuned in for tonight's stream. Well, tonight. I'm so used to saying night. And to today's stream. Those of you that did tune in to today's stream and watched me build this beautiful PC here, I very much appreciate you guys. I wasn't able to. Well, I could have live streamed on all three: Twitch, Kick, and YouTube, but today was strictly a YouTube only live stream. I didn't have a whole lot of time to prepare for this live stream. I live streamed for about 5 hours last night, playing Metal Gear on all three platforms. Now, I let you guys know last night when I was live streaming on all three platforms that I'd probably do a PC building live stream today, and that it might be YouTube only, mainly because one of my mods, he's got a hell of a streak going on Twitch, and I didn't want to mess up his streak by streaming when he couldn't attend because he was at work. Put my screwdriver back. The star of the show ×2, my Fantic electric screwdriver. And my other screwdriver. Never hurts to have more than one PC building screwdriver. I've got a whole toolbox full of tools. Well, it's not full, but got a whole toolbox that really needs some snippers in it. I actually have needle nose pliers in there that have snippers on them, but yeah, I'm gonna have to get a pair of real snippers out of my actual real toolbox because yeah, those snippers on the needle nose pliers don't really snip anything. But that's pretty much the PC. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off. Shut it off, unplug it, and take it and do something PC people should never do, and that's put it on the floor. Not that there's anything specifically wrong with the floor, it's just last thing you want is your $1,000 PC on the floor where somebody could kick it or if the glass just happens to fall out, it lands on the floor, then it's broken. But yeah, let me turn the light back on. Everything's a little dark. There we go. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I very much appreciate you guys for watching. We built that PC pretty fast. Um, like I said, I'm about to hook it up to a monitor here in a little bit. Hopefully, it posts like it's supposed to. I'm gonna spend the night tonight getting this one. Hopefully, it posts and I can get it loaded with Windows. That one, I've got to figure out why it's not posting. I do not have time for problems. So hopefully I can figure it out and I don't have to go buy more parts. If it does, it's going to get a little delayed, which I'm not looking forward to. So hopefully I can figure out what's wrong with that one. Hoping it's just the RAM hasn't. I'm hoping the motherboard's having a problem with the RAM memory situation. Learning. I know when you first start a new PC, the motherboard and RAM have to learn each other, feel each other out, and I'm hoping that that's the issue with that one, and hopefully I can get it to figure itself out and finally post so I can get some Windows put on that. That way they can go back in their cases or their boxes, and yeah, they'll be ready for here the day after tomorrow. Either way, they'll be handed out the day after tomorrow. Hopefully, I don't have to have a repair order in on one as soon as I hand it out. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, they both start working right, and hopefully that one starts working right. Hopefully this one just works right from the build that we did just now, and I can get some Windows installed, get some game launchers installed, and get them back in their case or boxes. I do appreciate you guys so much for watching, hanging out with me for the last couple hours while I built this PC. Hopefully I gave you guys some good handy information. Speaking of good handy information, these PCIe slot covers, once you take them off, you might want to hold on to them. Because if you ever get rid of the case, the people that buy the case off of you will very much appreciate the fact that you still had the slot covers for them to put back, because they may or may not need them, but it always helps to have them. The one part of the PC build that we didn't do live is this Wi-Fi antenna. I'm gonna pretty much leave this in its plastic. I will put it in the box with the PC when I box it back up. I was going to put this box of screws in my toolbox, but I've got more screws to add to it now. All the screws that came from this build. As far as the other stuff, like, there's always a mess load of trash. Anytime you build a PC, there's always a ton of boxes and trash and stuff. This is my PC building toolbox. Not nowhere near full of PC building stuff, but got some thermal paste and zip ties, and even have some colorful cable ties in here. That way I don't just have the black ones. I've yet to figure out what I'm going to use those colorful ones for. I don't even know what I'm going to use these colorful zip ties for, but maybe I'll come across a case that has red in it. Hint, hint. Might have a retro build that I'm going to be doing here soon for an old guy that I know. It's going to be black and red and gray, and yeah, probably going to use quite a bit of these on his build, just to use them. That plus, there's going to be 0 places to hide wires in his build, so it's going to be a perfect spot for those cable ties and zip ties and such. At least the red ones, anyway. Put my 2 screwdrivers in there. Wait a minute, has this got cutters on them? Yeah. Damn it. Forgot about my wire strippers I had in here. I actually have a cutter on them. Oops. Okay, well, I'll remember that for next time. Funny thing is, I specifically bought that and put it in this PC building toolbox because of the cutter. Because I'm not ever gonna need a wire stripper for PC building, but I was in such a hurry I forgot all about it. But the other night when I built the first PC, I wasn't in necessarily a real big hurry, but I still forgot it. So yeah. How you guys doing? Matches chair. Hello, he has a chair like Liz, except it's black, gray, and black, white, and gray. Oh, it's funny that you actually knew who I was talking about. But yeah, it's gonna be part of his build's gonna have black, white, and gray in it, but there's gonna be red in there too because it's specifically colored. It's gonna be specifically color coded for a certain football team, and yeah, his build's gonna be strictly built around said colors. His case is actually hiding over here in this cubby hole. You can't really see it too well, but it's torn apart. Yeah, this is the work in progress. Because I was looking forward to building his on the AM5 platform, but then the RAM shortage hit us like a ton of bricks. Thank you, AI. And hold on, dude, hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, guys. My son wanted to hug, and I'm not a big fan of him being on the camera. I think YouTube actually has some rules against it. Not positive on that. I know they're big about the children and content being made for children and them being on camera and stuff like that. So he likes red too. Yeah. Well, I know his favorite football team, and that's the color scheme of his PC build. Unfortunately, it got put on hold for a little bit because of these 2 PCs, and because AI's effed up the whole RAM SSD prices. Like, I've got his board and his AM5 processor over there. Unfortunately, the I did not buy the SSD or RAM yet, which the SSD ain't too bad. Granted, a 1 terabyte hard drive, SSD hard drive, would have costed me $50 last month, and now it's $120. That's not the main thing. No, the RAM prices is outrageous. If you guys have been keeping track of PC hardware here lately, AI has been sucking up all of the RAM for the computers and all the SSDs for the computers, which has made RAM prices for DDR5 RAM go from about $120 to $170 for a regular 32 gigabyte kit of DDR5 RAM. Last month was $120, $175. You might be able to find some cheap budget ones for around $100. Now you can't find any DDR5 RAM for under $200. And that's a 32 gig kit. They're all over $200. Most of them are $300-$400. It's freaking crazy. And they say it's a RAM shortage, but when we were in a GPU shortage, the GPU prices were crazy, but you couldn't find them. Now, I don't know if you can actually call it a RAM shortage, because the RAM's still there. You can still buy the RAM that you bought last month. It's just gonna cost you $300, $400 for a 32 gig kit. I'm so glad that I bought the 64 gig kit for my PC at the beginning of this year when prices were normal. Hopefully they go down here soon, because I do not want to have to downgrade his build to an AM4 platform build. But right now, that might be what I have to do. Depends on the RAM prices. I ain't so much worried about the SSD prices. Just paying over $100 for a 1 terabyte SSD suck ass. Yeah, it does. A month ago, you could spend $150, $200 and get a 2 gigabyte SSD. Now those are pretty much all over $200. But the SSD, it sucks, but it's not terrible. That DDR5 RAM, like, that shit's got to come down. Like, 5. It's so bad right now that places like Newegg and Amazon are bundling RAM with motherboards, and they're essentially giving you the motherboard for almost free just to get you to buy the RAM, because this RAM price crap has made sales of motherboards go freaking almost down to nothing. People aren't building PCs because they can't afford the freaking RAM. So, I might be able to help. You let me know. I was trying not to ask you or Liz or anybody else for help when it came to building his PC or affording the parts for his PC, but I'll let you know. Right now, them RAM prices got to come down. Like, if you couldn't find RAM and they were that price, like the GPU shortage was, I'd believe it was a shortage. But right now, I mean, you can find the RAM. It's just $500. Like, your RAM shouldn't cost more than your motherboard and CPU combo. Your RAM shouldn't cost more than your graphics card. I mean, some RAM's more expensive than your monitor. I mean, they've went out of control with this, and hopefully 2026 yields some better results for the DDR5 RAM and our SSD issue. Hopefully AI gets a fucking don't get me started on AI. Hopefully these companies start telling AI to go F off a little bit so the RAM prices can come down, so us PC builders can actually build PCs and make money. Because I mean, right now, if I'm gonna, like, come tax time, I'm gonna build a couple pre-built PCs to sell. Which if you're in Northwest Georgia, let me know. More than willing to help build any of you guys a PC. You just hit me up here on this channel, or you can shoot me a email. The email's on my be right back and end screen and stuff. But yeah, if you guys need a PC build, let me know. Here till the prices go down on DDR5 RAM, I'm pretty much stuck building AM4 builds like this streaming PC. And these two builds I built the last couple nights, they're all budget AM4 builds, but they're not. I mean, AM4 is the older platform, but not that bad. A lot of people still use the AM4 platform, still game on the AM4 platform. It still plays games plenty good enough. I wouldn't put your AM4 build with a 5090 in it, but if you're just looking to do some 1080p 1440p gaming, AM4 is your best bet right now. That being said, I appreciate you guys. I'll let you know on the helping me for his build part. Like I said, it really depends on the RAM prices here soon. I've got a lot of his build over there. I got the motherboard, I got the CPU, I've got the new fans to go into the case, because with it being an older case, I bought some smaller fans to work as intakes in the front. That way the air can flow right on through. I already have his CPU cooler as well. The only thing I'm missing is the RAM, the SSD, which is two of the worst parts to be missing right now, and the graphics card. I'm trying not to go too small on the graphics cards like I did with these two builds. Just because I don't have the, like, I can fix these two pretty quickly. They're here. His, I can't drive 600 miles to fix it or upgrade it for him every month or two. So that being said, I will let you know about his build. If anybody else is here, thank you guys so much for watching. I know my star of the show, she's been watching all stream long. I very much appreciate it. Hopefully I gave you and everybody else some helpful information if you're watching this live. I'm about to get off here, but you still got a few minutes to hit me up in that live chat if you have any questions. That being said, for those who have been watching, thank you guys so much for watching. It was my pleasure to build this PC for you guys today. Can't wait to plug it into a monitor and see how it boots up. Yeah. I think that's about it, guys. I do appreciate you guys. If you're watching this after it's live, feel free to hit me up in that comment section if you have any questions, PC building wise, or you have anything that you just want to chit chat about, hit me up in that comment section here live on my brand new Nickelback Gaming Tech channel. Looking to get this channel going good here ASAP. Delivering as much helpful information as I can to you guys about PC building. Not just PC building though. If you've seen the 2 videos on this channel, I did show you guys how to install an SSD into the PS5, which is right there. Yeah. But yeah, that whether it's consoles like the PS5 or PCs, I'm looking to help you guys out with whatever helpful information you may need. So if you have any video suggestions, anything that you might want me to make a video about specifically that you might need help with, feel free to hit me up in the comments section, or you can shoot me an email. Yeah, I'm gonna get some more PC building actual videos made. I'm actually gonna repurpose these live streams for YouTube videos and shorts as well on this channel. Just like I did to install the PS5 SSD video, I actually made a short out of that. So you guys ain't gotta watch the entire, I think, 8-minute video or whatnot. The short sums it up in like a minute or 2, I think. That being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Mom, for watching. I will let you know about his build. That being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Kick that stream music up a little bit. Let's end it on a high note. That's not one of the best songs on here. Let's go to one of my favorites. It's actually the Be Right Back song for my other channel, just Nickelback Gaming. No, that's not it. I'll get to it some time. I didn't know I had this many damn songs on the list. There we go. Yeah. If you watch my other YouTube channel, just Nickelback Gaming, then you've heard this song plenty of times when I have to step away from the live stream. But yeah, I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Love that song. I might end up swapping up the songs on this Nickelback Gaming Tech channel. I don't know. It's not top priority right now. Making more content for you guys on this channel is my top priority right now. Gotta get more computer videos made, which I'm gonna repurpose these live streams and cut them into bits and pieces so you guys can see the shorter part of these live streams and bits and pieces, just little videos to help you guys out with whatever questions you may or may not have. That being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it, and you guys have a good rest of your night, day, whatever it is. And you guys, I won't be live again until after Christmas, so Merry Christmas to everyone out there, whether you're watching live or watching it after the fact. Yeah, I'll be live again on Sippin' Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. As always, on my regular Nickelback Gaming channel, not this channel. I don't think I have my other two channels linked here. Put. Alright, yeah, I'm not going to be live again until after the holiday. So, yeah, you guys. Alright, sorry. My son's ready for me to get off here. Which is why I won't be live streaming until after the holidays. It's family time from now until after Christmas. If you're, as you know, tomorrow's Christmas Eve. I've got a ton of stuff to do. I gotta go over to a best friend's house, deliver a couple things. I gotta wrap a lot of presents. I gotta get these two PCs ready. So no live streams tomorrow. Definitely no live streams on Christmas. And then I'm just gonna take the days off, a couple days off after that. And I don't think I have Nickelback Gaming's regular channel linked on this channel page, but if you just look up Nickelback Gaming, you'll find my 3 channels: Nickelback Gaming, Nickelback Gaming News, and this one, Nickelback Gaming Tech. Feel free to drop a like and subscribe on all 3 channels if you'd like. The news channel, we're going to be getting going here soon, keeping you guys up to date with everything gaming news related. And Nickelback Gaming's been going good. We're going to keep that one going. We're going to grow this one as fast as we can, helping you guys out with anything tech-wise that you guys need help with. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to tune into my next live stream, make sure you tune in to the regular Nickelback Gaming channel on Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern for our Sippin' Saturday live streams that we do every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, I won't be live streaming until then, so all of you guys have a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you guys on the other channel for Sippin' Saturday. Nickelback Gaming channel, Sippin' Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the States. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys then. Peace.
I think we could be something so good. So good. So good. So good. I think we could be something so good. Something so I think we could be something so good. So good. So good. So good. I think we could be something so good.
Something so
Something so good. Something so good. I think we could be something so good. So good. So good. So good. I think we could be something so good.
something so